Lords with GeekWire Studios, and we are thrilled to be here at Smartsheet Engage 2022. We're also really excited to be sitting down with Marti Hoffer, CEO and founder of Lumenomics. Good to see you, Marti. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks, Matt. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, talk to me about your experience thus far at Engage.
Yeah, so I've already had an impactful moment. I was at dinner last night at Din Tai Fun, and I sat between two individuals and heard that they were also attending Smartsheet Engage, and I asked them what they loved about Smartsheet. And what I learned from Nick Darby, who's the business analyst and operations person for the Atlanta Hawks, was that he truly had gone from IT to project management, and that it was fascinating to learn that entertainment is using Smartsheet. And then I learned from Bethany with Dexcom that in the healthcare industry that she really loves the power of just using a link to communicate with her team.
So people coming together over Smartsheet and over dumplings.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Which always feels good. I'm fascinated by this concept, by your company. So tell me about Lumenomics and why you decided to found it and run it.
Sure. So at Lumenomics, it really started with my passion and love of daylight and natural light coming from the tops and sides of buildings. And I started the company to fill a gap between the lighting industry and the window treatment industry.
So what made you decide to focus on natural lighting when you're developing lighting systems?
Natural light is proven to increase test scores, reduce depression, and increase productivity and efficiency in the places in which we work, live, and play. And I could really see that rather than just follow a lighting plan, electric lighting or a window treatment, we really needed to think more about the quality of light and not just driving down the cost of operating, but what was it like to be an occupant in these spaces? And so natural light, full spectrum light is what we focus on. So
are you telling me if I change up the lighting in my workplace and we offer more natural light, I could have a more productive workforce?
That's what the studies say, Matt.
Right. So, and for you, that turned into a business model.
It did. It did. From design, doing lighting designs that include ventilated skylights, tubular daylighting devices, window coverings, or light come from tops and sides of the building from the sun, and electric light. We'll do the design and then the installation of the window coverings that are manufactured right here in Seattle, Washington, and installed nationwide for retail clients, and all kinds of commercial clients nationwide.
So you're tapping into the power of natural light, and you also believe deeply in the power of inclusion. In fact, you were just telling me that you've made diversity and inclusion really a pillar of your work at Lumenomics. How has that guided your approach, and how are you executing that in your day-to-day?
Yeah, diversity and inclusion is elemental to the work we do at Lumenomics. We are part of building the spaces in which we work, live, and play, and those spaces should include everyone, differently abled, people of color, the LGBTQ+, and of course women. And they should be part of the process of building these buildings.
You've talked to me about giving back. You guys make your home here in the Pacific Northwest. Have you given back to this community?
Yeah, so we did experience a little hate recently, but we believe in responding with love. And so when we received this hate as a certified LGBTQ+ business, we started our Trolls and Trash event. And they said to find the highest bridge, and you can fill in the blanks there and maybe like jump off it or something like that. But we found the highest bridge in Seattle where the Fremont Troll lives, and we clean up the streets and partnered with the city of Seattle to clean the streets.
And the response?
The response has been great. Our friends, our colleagues join us on a quarterly basis, and we clean the streets together.
I love it. So Smartsheet is an enterprise solution. You guys at Lumenomics, you are a small business. So I'm curious how this filled a need for you and how you've been able to use it to amplify your powers.
Yeah, so at Lumenomics, I selected Smartsheet because pretty quickly I recognized that it was a very agile tool. And so regardless of skill set, I felt that this tool could be used across my company.
As a collaboration software.
Yeah, as a collaboration software to communicate information from the field and a construction job site all the way to the office. And so you might be on a project in Boca Raton and sitting in your office in Seattle, Washington, and you need to get the information and share it across other skill sets in the company to solve a problem, and more importantly, report back to our client with the click of a button in a report where they get all the photos and all the information in a single click.
So what were you guys using before that wasn't working as well?
Well, like most of us, we have mobile devices, and so all of us would receive random text messages with all these photos and videos, and then you're trying to share those in a timely manner. And so Smartsheet organized the most powerful tool we have, which is a visual aid to communicate across disciplines and across learning and just skill sets.
So tell me more about how you use Smartsheet and how it's helped you and your team achieve.
Yeah, so the first thing we do is just create a visual map and number. So in construction, you have all these pieces and parts that go into the building, and so we just number them, and then that's one column, indicator number. The next is you're attaching photos on those rows and making comments, and so it organizes a whole building that might have 600 roller shades immediately for all stakeholders.
So you mentioned Boca Raton. That's Florida.
Yes.
I'm curious about your workplace and what that looks like. We're doing this interview in September of 2022. Are you guys mostly Seattle-based? Are you working from home? Are you hybrid? Or are you spread out all over the country?
Yeah, so at Lumenomics, we are spread across the country. When I founded the business, I recognized, this is over 13 years ago, that you wake up in a box, stare at a screen, drive to a box, stare at a screen, right? And I thought, well, we should just stay home, right? So we've been at home for over a decade. Smartsheet allowed Lumenomics to level up when everybody else was also working from home.
So if you guys are always out in the field, on the go, are you able to leverage Smartsheet on mobile, and how does that work for your team?
Yeah, and so the first thing that was important to me was looking at the mobile app with any platform, and Smartsheet was easy to use, whether you were a skilled tradesperson installing product in the field or sitting at your desk behind a spreadsheet.
What other tools do you and your team use, and how does Smartsheet fit into that ecosystem?
Yeah, the first one that we're a huge fan of is Zendesk Cell. And then, of course, we're using Google Suite and Box. And Smartsheet is our go-to project management and collaboration tool to share information fast across our company internally, and then, of course, externally with our clients. We're really exploring that now, too.
I know a big consideration for any small business when you implement new software is the time it takes to get everybody ramped on that software. What did you find with Smartsheet?
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly, we're looking at first cost, but what I found with Smartsheet is it was easy to implement from the field to the office, and that was so vital to actually using the software and getting that return that you're looking for in small business.
Can I just take a look at your shirt? It says creatives hustle harder. So for other creatives out there, for other small businesses out there, what would your advice be to help them scale?
Oh, that's a great question. It starts with curiosity. You really have to think about and create a curiosity across your company. Forget about somebody's comfort level with technology or software, and just create space for them to be curious and remove the rules is what I would recommend.
How do you foster that?
So you foster that by just talking about how we're going to use new software, and you start to watch and listen closely to the individuals that have more questions. That I think of it as just are clicking around, right? And you can see that in the applications. And so share it with everyone and keep an open mind on who might be a champion of this change, and then encourage them to ask as many questions as they can come up with. And to me, that's how you get to where you need to be.
Well, I know I was curious. I had a bunch of questions for you. Thank you. I'm better for this conversation. Thank you, Marti, for joining us here at Engage 2022.
Thanks, Matt.